Good morning, friends. This is another episode, making business law simple. I am Professor Dr. KNR. Previous class, we discussed about what is contract, definition of contract, section 2 subsection H, then various types of contracts. Under various types of contracts, we discussed the types based on validity. 1. Valid contract. 2. Void contract. 3. Voidable contract. 4. Illegal contract. Now today, the other two types we are going to see. Based on performance, based on formation. Yes. Now based on formation, we will discuss. That is the heading. Based on formation, what are the types? How contracts are formed? Express contract. When the terms of the contract are expressly written in words or spoken, mainly written, it is called express contract. For example, I make an order of buying 10,000 furniture from Neil Kamal showroom. In writing, it is express contract. They also send the acceptance letter. Okay, contract. Implied contract, not at all stated expressly. It is understood by the behavior or conduct of parties. 7 o'clock morning, hotel kept open. That means hotel makes an offer to you. You enter inside the hotel, acceptance. So, masala dosa, you take and pay the money. Contract. So, implied contract. Nobody will call you. Nobody will make an offer. Our hotel is kept opened, masala dosa available, please come. No. When a hotel is kept opened, it is implied offer. When you enter inside the hotel, your conduct of entering inside the hotel, acceptance, implied acceptance. So implied contract. Or you stand at bus stop, bus is coming, implied offer. You enter inside the bus, acceptance. Ticket, contract. See, this is implied contract. So, express contract, implied contract. Quasi contract, Quasi, quasi, not full-fledged contract. It is created by law. Yes, even though there are two parties, but there is no physical contract between them. Yes. By way of their activities, law will enforce the obligations on both the parties, saying that you have to pay so much of money to him. You cannot become rich at the expense of the other. Law will not allow. Based on the principles of natural justice and equity, law enforces obligation. For example, I supplied food, clothing, shelter, medical facilities, education, everything to a minor. Once he becomes a major, he started earning, he must pay back to me. If minor says, sir, that contract with a minor is void, I will not pay. law will not allow. Court will compel the minor to pay back. Of course, minor's property is liable. Minor has to pay from the property. But minor doesn't, yes. Therefore, minor has to, once he becomes a major, he has to pay. That is quasi-contract. Quasi. Law will compel you to give. Second example, by mistake, food, sweets supplied to you, it is not meant for you. You have consumed it. You have to return. Why? By mistake it was delivered, you will take it up. Later on you may argue, mistake it was delivered, what? No, you should not take it. If you enjoyed the benefit of goods supplied by mistake, whatever it is, you have to pay back. That is quasi-contract. It is created by law. There is no contract between two parties actually. Even though there are two parties. But law will come into the picture. Law will enforce obligation to pay to the other party. Quasi-contract. Tacit contract. Tacit also implied approval. Like this also comes under, it is a part of implied contract. Implied contract major, macro. In that tacit contract, included. Tacit implied approval. Implied approval. Yes. In the sense, for example, auction sale, Yelam in Tamil, auction sale. When an auction sale is conducted, the auctioneer, by completing sale, that is when the hammer falls third time, one time, second time, third time, sale completed. See, this is tacit. By way of fall of hammer, by the third time, it is an indirect approval that sale is completed. If you want to ask before third time, the fall of hammer, you must ask. So this is tacit contract, implied understanding. See, another example, ATM machine opened, ATM opened. There is an implied approval that you can enter the ATM and you can take money from your card. Tacit contract. So this is one classification. Now, third classification. Third classification based on performance. Perform. Executed contract. Yes. Last month 15th I supplied goods, you paid money. Executed contract. Already done. Past, over. Performed. Executory contract. Next. Going to perform. I promise to pay next week. You promise to supply goods next week. Executory contract. Going to take place. See, based on performance, executed, executed. Bilateral, unilateral. Bilateral, both parties perform the contract. In a contract, always two parties only. For that matter, our contracts are bilateral. Bi means two. Bicycle. Bilateral, two parties. So, when both the parties perform the contract, it is bilateral. And unilateral, one-sided contract. One party performs first, then the other party performs. Unilateral. Example, You go to central station carrying the luggage. Porter picks up your luggage and keeps it in S3 compartment, seat number 61. His performance completed. Porter has completed his part of performance. Now you have to pay money. Unilateral contract, one-sided contract. He performed his part first, then you are paying. See friends, these are the three major classifications. Each classification involves 4 types. Based on validity, based on formation, based on performance. I hope you understand clearly. Apart from this, one more type, unenforceable contract. Contracts which cannot be enforceable by law due to technical defect. Yes, it is unenforceable contract, not enforceable due to technical defect. Means what? Normally the contract must be in writing. Yes, witness, signed, stamp paper, all these. Suppose if anything is lacking, maybe legal formality not fulfilled. There is a contract, no signature. See, unenforceable. Once that defect is removed, it becomes enforceable. See, contract is an agreement enforceable by law. So it must be enforceable. Because of technical defect, it may not become enforceable. So therefore, once the defect is removed, it is enforceable. Unenforceable contract. So these are the various types of contracts. Fine. Thereby, almost we are on the verge of completing the first lesson. Here, I would like to quote 2 differences, because differences also will come in the exam. Whether you are doing chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, computer secretaryship, BCom, various BComs, whether it is BCom Accounts and Finance, BCom General, BCom, whatever it is. So, difference-oriented question will come. Sir, what is that? Voidable contract difference, void illegal contract difference. Right. Now let us see voidable contract difference. Void contract never becomes valid. Once void, always void. Void contract. Voidable contract. It may be valid or void. Everything depends on the affected party. Correct? If the affected party does not raise any objection, contract is valid. If the affected party raise objections or make a complaint, void. That is why it is called voidable. Second, contract which is not valid is void, or which does not fulfill the essentials of a valid agreement, void. Okay? But what about voidable? Mainly under 4 circumstances only. Coercion, undue influence, fraud, misrepresentation. When the consent is not free, the contract is voidable. When the consent is not free, under 4 circumstances: coercion, physical force, undue influence, moral force, misrepresentation, wrong representation, fraud, wrong representation with the intention to cheat. In these 4 cases, contract is voidable. See the difference? Yes. And contract, void contract. Maybe at the time of entering into the contract, it is valid. Subsequently, it may become void. Possible. So now film can be screened. 999 film, valid. Distributors purchased it. Suddenly government are coming out to ban the 999 dam. It becomes void, but voidable. Void or valid depends on affected party only. Fine friends, void, voidable, void, illegal. Very simple. If a contract is void or the defaulting party must pay compensation. In case of illegal contract, remedy is punishment under Indian Penal Code. Jail sentence is given. Void contract, no jail sentence. Next, void contract is void. Subsequently, it may become valid also. Once that void aspect is removed. But illegal, once illegal, always illegal. Void ab initio, void from the very beginning. ABINITIO, void ab initio, void from the very beginning. Once illegal, always illegal only. Yes, but void, not like that. Once the permission is granted, up to that void, once that exemption is withdrawn, it may become valid also. Subsequently, yes. And Indian Penal Code is not involved in void contract. Illegal, Indian Penal Code is involved. Illegal, against law. Against law. But void, no, within the provisions of law, but due to some reason or other, it becomes void. Example, agreement with a minor is void. Illegal. Agreement to smuggle goods, illegal. Likewise, we can elaborate and we can write about 3 to 4 points. Normally, in BCom, you can write additional 1 or 2 points. Both the examiner will be happy. But in case of professional courses, what is required, give. Even if it is 3 points, finish, give. Marks will be given. Please do not write too many lines or pages, not required. So that's all, friends. Now I am completing the first lesson of Indian Contract Act, what we can call introduction. Yes. Subscribe. Friends, if you like this first episode, Introduction to Indian Contract Act, please subscribe and press the bell icon and also press all YouTubes will come to you. You will learn business law very easily sitting at home or wherever you are. I will be making it very simple, friends. Next episode, what are the essentials of a valid contract? What are the essentials? That we will see in the next YouTube. Thank you very much.